Welcome to Juggling Interviews. This episode is brought to you by eJuggle, the IJ's official online publication, where you can find the latest juggling news, articles, videos, and podcasts, just like this one. If you want to check that out, you can head over to their website at juggle.org/ejuggle, or with the link in the description. This episode is also sponsored by Play Juggling. On their website, you can find high-quality props like balls, clubs, rings, diablos, poise, fire equipments, flower sticks, glow props, and tons more. Head over to playjuggling.com and use my code XavJuggles, XavJuggles, to get 10% off your next purchase. It's a great way to support me, so thank you a lot, Play Juggling. Now let's get to the episode.
This should be a part of the intro.
This should be the intro?
Yeah, this should be like a part of the intro as smooth way in.
So welcome everyone. Welcome back to Juggling Interviews. Today I'm with Jared, Athias, Juggle Johns. How we doing?
We're good. We're doing good. Hanging out in my basement.
Oh yeah. Do you always practice there, or is there not enough ceiling height?
No, there's no ceiling height. I anytime I go to practice, I'm out of the house. I make it a point to be like, I have to get out of here if I want to fully practice. Okay. No practicing in the house.
Okay, I see. So, how did you start juggling, Jared? How did you figure out the joy of juggling?
I started at the RIT Juggling Club up in Rochester, New York. It was 2013, and I was there as a freshman. And I was looking at a bunch of the clubs, and I met up with the Jugglers. Started hanging out with them a bunch more. Go to the weekly meetups, and also Rochester is a weirdly big juggling hub for some strange reason. I think Wes is from there. Matan's from there. Our juggling club had a huge festival every year that would just get tons of people. We had Wes perform 3 times. It was the best. So it's just a really good environment to come up into juggling with.
I think there's no better environment than to get introduced to Wes as the first rock star of juggling.
Your first festival is Wes and Patrick performing their duo act.
Oh, how can you go better than this?
Yeah, you can't.
Was it just worse and worse throughout the years from there?
No, because the next year was Water on Mars.
Oh, okay.
So it was Water on Mars with Jay. Jay Gilligan came and did his solo act that he had at the time. And so it's we had Water on Mars, Jay Gilligan. I don't even remember who the other performers were.
That was the highlight of the show.
That was the highlight of the show, yeah.
Damn, that's so nice, man. Okay, so you were but how'd you get introduced to the club at first? Did you randomly picked up a new activity and then be like, ooh, juggling?
Yeah, I mean, I started juggling because I was juggling a little bit in middle school, and then you get to high school and it's juggling's not cool anymore. So you stop doing that. And then you go to college and you're like, you know what? This was fun. I'm going to pick it back up again. And then I was also running track. I was a high jumper and a hurdler at my college. And I pulled both my hamstrings, and I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm not going to do this anymore. My legs hurt, and I want something that's a little less, intense. And it was nice, too, because at the college, it was either you did 2 years of some sport, or you did a semester or something of some activity. And so since I did my 2 years, I was I had free time. And so I was spending all of my workout time would go to juggling.
Oh, nice.
And juggling slowly became my new form of working out, keeping myself active, getting myself out of the labs. A nice safe space.
But as a child, in middle school, how was the first part of juggling introduced to you? Was it someone that knew how to juggle next to you? Was it for a physical education thing?
It was a juggling club that we had at my middle school. One of the teachers was teaching a bunch of people how to juggle, and
okay, nice.
I happened to join in, and stuck with it.
Nice. So,
Yeah.
but I guess since it's like a beginner juggling club, you didn't get introduced to like actual clubs for a while, right?
No, no,
Clubs
no,
were
not
much
really.
harder.
Like I could, by the time I got to college, I could do a cascade. Like I could do a cascade and like maybe a little bit of like a shower,
Oh,
but other than that, I had like I couldn't juggle clubs. I could barely, figure out how to juggle anything else. But yeah, just 11 years of playing with different toys, different props.
and right now you have like a pretty singular style. Like I cannot name many people with the kind of style you're having with clubs at the moment, and I'm really curious. Like, who are your inspirations as you picked up the clubs, and what kind of movements or like videos with new techniques and everything? What inspired you the most to like go to where you're right now?
Oh God. It's like a mix. It was so funny when you're like, I have like a unique style. I steal so many tricks. I steal so many tricks, so many different styles. Like Oni is the GOAT. Oni is like the framework, like the playbook. He is like the guy that I saw juggle, and I was like, I got to juggle like that. And there are like multiple people like that I've seen, where it's like Oni was one. Bosch was another one where it's like I watched his videos. I was like, oh, I got to juggle like that. I got to figure out how to juggle like that. Keith Marshall, he had like a little snippet that I saw. He was the first dude I saw do stacks, like the stacking tricks I
Oh,
like to do. Yeah, and so I was just, I got to learn how to do that. I got to play around with every single thing about that. Marvin Ong, another huge inspiration. I met him at a park, just randomly trying to find jugglers in LA. Yeah,
oh damn.
and he introduced me to like the whole flow scene and the whole uh like that type of juggling, the no beats and stuff like that. Uh, yeah, I've got like a ton of inspiration. There's like a bunch of like French jugglers too that don't post videos that are like also huge inspirations. This dude Fernando, he's popping. He just released this crazy club video, like maybe like 2 weeks ago. God, who else? This dude Julian, who I met, Julian Munch, I think his last name is. I met him at Marvin's festival that he threw back in 2019, and he showed me all these like little club, what's my club? All these like little like boop 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 clowning
Oh
tricks,
yeah. For
like
people
that type of
listening to
stuff.
audio, it's like one single club manipulation playing with like how do you make one club move between like two hands and everything, like how do you make it
Yep.
slide and like do fun spins.
Yeah.
Micro tech, would you call that like micro tech, like one club, just the
Oh.
minimal movements and everything?
Somebody referred to it as not club magic, but something like club magic,
Or manipulations
and
or
or like sleight of hand, club of
ah,
hand, sleight of
nice.
club. I can't remember. Yeah,
I think
that's
that
how someone
applies.
described it.
That applies to
Yeah,
it, I think.
and so I picked up a bunch of little tricks from him at that festival, and then I kind of just like developed it more, just played around with it a bit more. But like those guys, I look at them, I'm like, I have to train so much more if I want to be able to do some of the stuff that I've seen them do.
Yeah, because most of that style is like so smooth, and everyone makes it
Yep,
look easy. Like the best of the best makes it look easy, but then
yep,
it's not easy at all to make it smooth. Like
yeah.
it's
I feel like I like to think of myself as like a creative copycat, you know?
Kakashi
Like I just
Sensei
see
and
something
juggling
cool.
and
Yeah,
juggling.
that's something juggling.
But like, I want to
Juggling.
hop in on
Put up
something
my
you said
eye.
earlier. You said like, it's funny that you say I'm original because I steal everyone. But isn't that what everyone has been doing since the beginning of time? Everyone has copied
Yeah,
from inspirations, though.
yep. It's like everyone's copying from everyone. Everyone's been like, "Oh, look at this new trick that I did." And you're thinking like, "Oh, I saw somebody else do that 10 years ago," or "Oh, I saw somebody do that several years ago." I don't know. I feel like Zach McAllister, even though hits like I think a lot of his juggling is very goofy. I think it's very innovative in the sense of like who else is taping props to themselves? You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah. Also,
Uh,
like it's something I really
like
like is that he's playing like very deeply with the three main props. Like I know
yep,
people that would do like that kind of exploration, but with just clubs. But like he's very, I don't know. He touches everything. It's very cool. Like
yep,
you could take even like his not IJ. Oh yeah, maybe IJ 2019. I think where he does like through all three props. Like
yep.
there's new techniques that he performs on stage at a pretty high level that are like super creative and like kind of unseen. Like also all the blind behind the back with the foot technique. Right now it's pretty known. People know that kind of juggling style, but like Zach McAllister was the one who pushed it so far, and like it's so crazy how he can like jump into niches but with every
Yep.
props and like very far. Like he's not just doing basics of everything and be like an
No,
average juggler, right?
not at all. Like he takes it to like a whole different like way of thinking. And I feel like also like every year it's like somebody's bringing something new. Like somebody's showing I'm seeing something that I've never seen before, or like somebody's playing with a prop in a way that I would have never thought of playing with it, you know?
I think that's like
So,
crazy interesting. That I think that's mostly because of probably sharing in social media. Because if we were still in like the 70s and like
yep,
seeing on television, it's different. The acts back then looked pretty similar, depending on the juggling style, if it was comedic or just like performance. But like, there's
yeah.
not a crazy wide range of tricks. But like just seeing the amount of videos, it's literally like libraries of tricks in like a consumable format. Like people won't necessarily look at text and being like, oh, this is a new trick, this is a new trick. So people just by
Yep.
scrolling and randomly finding videos, they get introduced
It's
like
like,
everything.
in my opinion, I think it's less about, I guess, the trick that you do, but how you incorporate it with other tricks that you're doing. You know, because like I consider myself like a sequence juggler more than like, I don't know, some type of traditional juggler where like my five club is like scratchy, but I can run with three clubs for like a fun, playful, good time. You know, uh, like I won't really try to repeat tricks over and over and over again because in my mind I'm like, all right, I already did the trick. Let's go on to a next thing, you know?
Yeah. Okay, so
It's
it's
like
more.
eating a meal, you know? I already ate my vegetables. Let me go take a bite out of this steak.
I see. I
Let me
see.
go eat these mashed potatoes, you know? Ooh, let me go back to the steak, you know?
Yeah, because there's also like I think that's the power of sequences because it's always somewhat original. Even if you copy someone's sequence, there's always
Hmm.
something different between two sequences, even though they're supposed to be on paper the same. That like
Yep.
even it's so cool. Like the tricks as themselves, like we've seen a numerous amount of like five ups with balls or clubs or anything. That right now a five up is like
Yeah,
a
it's like
concept. It's a concept to us. Like we're like, oh, this is a 5-0, but like no one really conceptualize like a sequence. No one's like, oh, this is this. Like people don't know this. They're always like
yeah,
finding something new in that sequence. And like,
and it's like
let's say I posted a sequence today, like in my story, and I do the exact same sequence in a year. No one will remember because like a sequence is so
right.
unique and in the moment that people just I don't know they discover everything from the sequence even though they already seen bits or like stuff from everywhere just smashed into one.
Right. I think like sequence juggling, in like my opinion, it's juggling for jugglers, you know? Like if you go on stage and do a five up 360, it's like, whoa, awesome, incredible. That was beautiful. But if like you go up and you do like a 2 minute sequence that like nothing's really repeating, but things are like, kind of flashy, you get like a weird response of like, oh, I've never seen juggling like that before, or like I didn't really know where it was going, but it made me feel some type of way, you know?
Okay, but doesn't mean negative, right? Different doesn't mean that's
No, no,
less
no,
than
no.
the five than
Different
the
does
five
not mean
ups.
negative.
Because like
Yeah, yeah.
have you seen like I think it's Joe Fisher doing like three clubs on stage.
I saw Joe Fisher. Yo, yo, okay, listen. This is how you know how like non-jugglers just don't fully understand. like the concept of like Joe Fisher or like somebody at Joe Fisher's level. Uh, it was what EJC 20, I think 2023. It was like my first EJC. It was in Spain, and my brother happened to also be in Spain at the same time. And I was like, "Hey, do you want to come to the show? It's open stage. I can sneak you in." For the EJC people that are running EJC, I did not sneak my brother in. I got him a ticket and I brought him in with me. He had a pass. We paid money. We paid somebody money and we got in. Anyways, sitting there, Joe Fisher comes on and Joe Fisher he's got a boot on, by the way. Like his foot is like non-commissioned. He's doing 5 club, like triples, down to doubles, down to singles, into a collect. And like everyone's losing their mind. Like Richard Hartnell sitting right next to me, like freaking out. And my brother, who's sitting on the other side of me, is just like, I don't get it. He threw them up and caught them.
Oh, really?
You know? Yeah, he's like, I don't get it. He just threw him up and caught him. It's like, but like, what he was doing requires so much practice, so much time, so much skill, so much effort. And I think like, if it's not aggressively different or aggressively flashy, then it's not going to read to non-jugglers like it does to jugglers, you know? And so I try to portray a way of juggling that can read to both jugglers and non-jugglers. Like that's like my whole mindset of like, all right, is this impressive to jugglers? Cool. Is it impressive to non-jugglers? Super cool. Now I have a trick or a sequence that I can like put on stage and it'll impress everyone.
Also, like as you're saying this, like I'm trying to imagine as a non-juggler, like I think the most commercially successful acts that attract non-jugglers are the acts you can like put an image on. You can take a a screenshot in your mind like while watching, like let's say West Pete and juggling with like volcanoes and palm trees. I think the act like crazy balloons. A kid seeing this will remember the balloons. Like he did a balloon thing, and like maybe a sequence like with arm movements and everything is like a mash of cool tricks, but he doesn't remember one part or one sequence. So I think that might be something easier to approach when it's for non-jugglers. But like let's say Joe Fisher did the triples at like a 7 club height, but then did doubles at a 5 club height, and then did super small singles. Probably your brother would catch up on this, right? Because it's physically up, middle, down. Then he's like, oh, this is happening. But if he keeps like one height but moves the throws around from 3 to 2, like it's not really visible. Then 1, maybe there's a small change. Then collect. It's hard to see, right?
Even then, it's like I think he still had the same mentality. Just he threw him up and caught him again. Like I don't,
okay.
I don't get it.
I see. Okay, I see. Oh.
I don't know. Make it flashy, you know. Make it flashy and memorable. You know, exactly. Like if I juggle 5-ball in front of somebody, they'll be like, "Wow, cool." You know, like that looks like it took a lot of time and effort. Like congratulations.
But like
congratulations.
Even if you're juggling like 3 balls, but in a very like new way, or like
they get the same reaction, the same exact reaction to me juggling 3 ball. My girlfriend was even like, I didn't really understand the difference between 3 and 5. I was like, she's just like, I just thought it was more numbers. I'm like, yeah, but like, you know, like you're doing something a bit more intense and higher, but
I really like. I feel like people see the difference between like 3, 4, and 5, because people seen 3, people maybe know how to do 3 or like have a concept of 3, but then 5 is like more than what they do, so they just see it's more. Yeah. But then from 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, like it
all looks the same.
Yeah,
all looks the same.
Exactly.
All looks the same. 5 to 9 looks exactly the same, but higher.
But like if you see someone doing like 11 ball flash, they're probably like, oh, that's more than like 7, right?
yeah. It's a weird phenomenon that I've like started picking up, like, or at least noticing uh, from non-jugglers. Just them not really understanding, like it not coming through like the tricks to them of like, oh, five and seven, although they look the same, they're very different, and it's a very different skill gap
Yeah.
to get to. So
But for non-jugglers, it maybe look like 1 month to get from 5 to 7. It just looks a bit higher. They're like, oh, just
yeah,
add 2.
yeah.
But like from 3 to
Just add
5,
two.
from 3 to 5, I think they have the notion of like, oh, I can maybe do 3 today or tomorrow, but 5, like, don't even think about it. So there's like a huge gap probably for them, and then they have like this thing, like that's 5, that's 7 for them. It's like a tiniest gap, but like I feel like the kind of sequency juggling style is very cool to non-jugglers. If just like maybe I mentioned like doing an image, because I feel like the most effective style is the one we might see on Instagram, and like seeing all those like lines with 3 clubs. That's like something people notice. Like they're like, I don't know how to place it. Sorry for people in audio. Like you should place it like this.
The stacks.
That's more memorable. That's more memorable than like this, right?
I don't know if I don't think it's in terms of more memorable, but I think if you sneak it in the right way, it's like more of like a shocking thing, you know. Oh yeah, I guess it'd be like more memorable in the video that you see, you know, or the act that you see.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's like big flash. Like people get surprised with fireworks, you know. And it's like, what's the big thing about fireworks? It's not the like shooting off part of the fireworks. It's not the like little trail coming up. It's the big explosion. So like, how do you get like a big explosion?
Right.
With
but I think it's a little bit of like pulling up to a big moment, and then like it's sort of like you're reaching to something. They're like pow, and then you're like, oh, what's next? Oh, it's coming.
Yep.
Pow.
Yep.
But maybe like that's probably why people also enjoy maybe like jazz or people doing I don't remember the word. People doing improvisation. Like they do stop and go, and like it's always a movement, but like how to make it catchy or to make someone pick up to it is like doing rhythms that you can recognize in between those like transition parts and like moving around. So if you have like, let's say the stacks could be like, oh, I see, okay, it's like 3 lines, that's super clear in my head. Just like a piano sequence would do like ta ta ta, and you recognize the 3 hits, you're like, oh, and then another 3 hits, you're like, oh, okay, it's referring to this and this and this.
Yeah.
I think that's like literally like improvising, even though your sequence may be written on paper. If someone can catch up on like some little details.
It's written all up here. All up here and recorded. That's honestly the only way I can remember any of the sequences. God, I was looking for a video, and I was rewatching like old, maybe like 2-year-old footage that I shot of me juggling. And I was so shocked. I was like, "Ooh, that's a cool trick." And it's like me juggling. And I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." Like, "Oh shit, I wish I remembered that."
That's actually so funny, because even though like I'm not really a sequence juggler, like I do some sequences more than people may think when they see my Instagram. But like on my own, I do some sequence work. But I film tricks to remember, but also tricks if you have like a large quantity, you just forget about them.
Yeah.
And like you going back to tricks or sequences or like ideas you had, you're like, ooh, that's smart, my boy. That's smart. Yeah, you somehow forget about these cool ideas. Like, that's kind of messed up. Like, how does your brain not pick up?
I feel like I have like specific sequences that I've been like working on and dabbling with for like a while, and so they change over time. Excuse me. They change over time, but it's like still pretty much the same kind of concept. And if like every time I go juggle, I usually try to run through a sequence or like run through several sequences, just so that it's like refreshed in my brain. Especially if I'm building an act, it's like, all right, let me like run through this sequence a bunch of times in order to get it down solid.
Yeah, because unless it's your direction, like you don't want to improvise on stage, or like if you want to improvise,
I try to avoid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to like drill it to the point where like if I can get my body into the position of like the beginning of the sequence, I can kind of like flow my way
To
to
the
the
end.
end.
Yeah.
Because it's like, all right, I know what to do. I know how it feels. Let me just run through it.
Because you learn to
And like on
anticipate.
stage, yeah, and like on stage, it looks kind of random, but I try to set it where it's like timed up with the music, and I try to set it where it's consistently the same.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think that's a crazy challenge to like keep up with the sequence, but also make it the same. Because like
yeah, it's like
it's
rapping, but like
exactly how do you have
there's
every
no
beat? Because there's a lot of beats in a sequence, right? It's not like 20 catches of this and then moving on to this. There's like
yeah,
minute details, like oh, does your club
yeah,
in this hand do a spin while this is happening here? Okay, then you have to like pick up the fact that this started on this beat, or like depending on how minute details you added to the sequence, you have to like respect the beats to have it sync to the music. And oh yeah, that's
I
a
also
crazy
I also
challenge.
juggle to music a lot. Like I try to juggle to music and like on beat to the music like almost every time I juggle.
Yeah.
Like unless I'm like training something, I'm trying to juggle to a beat that I'm listening to, which helps a lot with like picking out music and songs and whatnot.
But I think that's like very cool way to play with that anticipation, like learning how to build up to something. Like it's exactly like those
Hmm.
freestylers doing everything off the dome. Like they
Yep.
know, like they set up one idea or like one word that they have to rhyme in the next four beats. Like they have four beats to
Yep.
come up to this rhyme, or like depending on
Yeah.
if their rhyme scheme, like they might do two rhymes together and then like they have to like, if they know the beat or not, they know that this is the drop here, so I'll do this and this and this. So like if you do juggling in this half improvised, half, because the music's not improvised, you unless you improvise the music, which is crazy impressive, like to new music. Because if you know the music, you know that this is calmer, and then
Yeah.
this is the beat drop, and then this
Yeah.
is happening in this beat and this beat. But like
Yep.
I think that's a crazy skill to have. Like there's a lot of people that even with their words don't know how to like separate beats to like have a rhyme on this and this. So
Yep.
imagine linking this to your body. Like your body needs to do this and like put an emphasis on this beat because this is happening.
And like breakdancers have it down. Like breakdancers, I think, have it where it's like, oh, let's do 6 step or like 3 step to here to dropping down to doing 6 step here. And then when the beat is building up here, I'll do a little something, something. And then when the beat drops, I'll hit a power move, you
Yeah.
know? And I think that's like the same mentality that I kind of have, where it's like, all right, we're doing something, something here, something, something here. All right, beats building up, do something big here.
Yeah.
So,
I think that's why people enjoy watching break dancers. Like even though it's like somewhat
yep,
the same kind of moves, until
yep,
it's like a power move, like it's cool because they have waves, right? It's like calmer and then expecting something big happening because like he's getting to the floor, but no, doing steps on the floor means that he's probably gonna do a power move right after, because
yeah.
they rarely like do a couple steps and then directly on the floor. So it's like, yeah, it's just a bunch of motions like going up and down in the energy, because that's, I think that's how
It's like
people.
to breakdancers, they see the minute differences between each dancer and like each technique or trick. And it's like the same thing with jugglers, you know. With jugglers, we pick up on the things that we know to pick up on. But the average viewer, like sometimes when I'm watching breakdancing, it's kind of looking the same. But then sometimes I'll see somebody breakdance in a different way. I'll be like, oh, this is different than what I saw before. Like this is very different than what I saw before.
Yeah,
And so trying to get that with the juggling. Like
but
how do we
also
get that with juggling?
something kind of unique. Like imagine if there was a way to like do a silhouette of a juggler, but just keep their clubs or their props highlighted. Like you don't know who's juggling it, but
Yep.
just seeing the patterns and the movements. I bet there's like tons of jugglers that would recognize like someone like Oni. Oni's club juggling is
Yep.
like
Yep.
super recognizable. Like you could put a shadow,
Super duper recognizable.
not even a background, like just floating clubs, and people would recognize it's
Yep.
probably a Oni sequence. That's crazy, right?
Oni's dope. Oni's dope. Oni's so cool. Oni and then what? Wyatt Davis also another goat.
Even
Uh,
Sarah.
Yep, Wyatt and
Sarah's.
Sarah.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Uh,
But also Wes. But Wes is so unpredictable that you might not understand that it's like a new style from Wes. Like, let's say
yep.
Wes did a new sequence, but no jugglers see it. It's just a floating club, and you have to guess who's that sequence from. Wes would be so like unpredictable that it might be from Wes. It might be crazy new techniques from Wes, or it might be so. It's just so
Yep.
so odd. Oh, do you mind if we transition to another subject that I think a lot of artists and jugglers might relate to? Um, People might not know, but you do. You have another secret life. You're a secret agent in
Not the secret life. I think the juggling's the secret life.
yeah. But for the
The juggling
juggling
is the
on
secret
this
life.
podcast, in the context of this podcast, I think juggling is the mainstream reason why people might know you.
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
context, because Jared's a very cool artist. Like he's doing. Can you explain your job
Oh,
titles? Everything you did as an
I
artist.
yeah. So I went to school for 3D digital design. That was my major. While I was there, I was working with a bunch of the animators because they were all my friends. And so I'd work on a bunch of their short films, cut to graduation. I go home for like 3 months, and then I start working. I moved to LA to go work at DreamWorks as a production assistant on the show called Troll Hunters and Dragons Race to the Edge. And so I did that for I think like maybe a year, and then afterwards I left to go work in Seattle as a 3D artist with Amazon, and we were making like chairs, couches, ottomans, just like random uh, uh, furniture out assets, and it would be like random every day. Like
Yeah.
some days I'd have a rug, and then I'd have like 8 rugs to get through, and then another day I'd have like an entire couch that I have to model.
Yeah, so it's like
uh,
you told me the other day, like it's 3D modelization of like items, so you can see like the whole thing, right? So it's a
yeah, we it was. Hold on, my cat's here. She wants attention.
oh,
Morty,
oh. So cute.
what a lady. Yeah. It was we were 3D modeling these assets so that when you go on the Amazon website and you're like, oh, I want to buy this couch, you can click the little 3D button and it'll show you a 3D model of the couch. And then you can take that couch, take a photo of your room, and place the couch in your home. Uh,
That's
and
sick.
so we were just doing a bunch of modeling for assets to do that. And yeah, if you go on Amazon's website and you most of the products have a 3D option to see it. Uh,
And
yeah,
that's
I was
what
part of
you
that
were
team
paid
for
to
like
do.
yeah, yeah. That was like my job for like 3.5 years in Seattle. And then I left that job to go work in Vancouver, BC, where I was a lighting artist for this studio called Icon Creative. I worked there for I think like 7 months. There was drama.
Yeah.
And then I left and I started working at this other place called Mainframe Studios, and I worked there for a year. I had a year-long contract. Uh, yeah, I was a lighting artist, and I was at Icon. I was working on a show called Transformers Earthspark, and at Mainframe, I was working on a show called Barbie: A Touch of Magic, and yeah, I think they're both on Disney Plus. Well, one's on like Barbie's on Netflix, Transformers is on Paramount Plus, and then Troll Hunters and Dragons Race to the Edge. Those are also on Netflix as well. Uh, yeah. Oh
That's
yeah.
so cool.
Oh, in between working, in between DreamWorks and Amazon, I worked at this this VFX company in LA, and I worked on a music video. It's the Jackie Chan uh, Tiesto, and I don't remember the other
Post
artist's
Malone.
name. Post Malone. Yep, Tiesto Post Malone music video.
That's crazy to know. I remember watching this clip like being younger. Like that was like summer of 2017, like or 2018 banger. Like that was the banger of the summer. And like I didn't know like I would meet someone who worked on this. I don't know. I was a fan of that song. Was one of my favorite songs.
It would come on. Oh man, it would come on in a cab, and I'd be like, "You gotta turn this off. You gotta turn this song off."
That's like editors, right? When they edit to a music, they hate the music they edit to. Yeah, sorry, I didn't want to cut you off.
Also, it wasn't even that like I just wasn't a fan of the song. Like I wasn't really a fan of the song, but the project was really fun to work on.
I like both. Also, do you mind if I pull up on the screen some of your work that you did?
Oh yeah, sure.
Or is it like copyright?
How's this work? Is it like
do snaps?
Like pop up?
Snap, and we'll have it.
Snap. Okay.
Oh, we don't hear the snaps. Okay, I'll do my snaps. So here.
Oh yeah, what a great clip.
Two in a row. You didn't expect that, right?
Whoa.
And then nothing.
Whoa.
That'd be fun for me at editing after.
Whoa, those clips were insane.
They were like
the SpongeBob-ness. I don't know what clip.
Oh, now you're asking for me to search specific clips?
What?
I was just gonna go on your portfolio or your website. That would have been easier.
Oh, I mean, if you go on my website, you find like all my 3D stuff, but then all of my juggling stuff is on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's Instagram and Blue Sky. I posted a couple clips on there.
Also, a quick information for everyone. In every of the podcast episode, in the description, there's the YouTube channel and the Instagram of every great guest I receive. So if anyone is interested, even though the Instagram name is like right under the video, you can check out in the description. There's interesting links. Even to my Instagrams, there's like a bunch of interesting links for related to the podcast. So like, do you want me to put your website if people might need an artist for any project, or if you're available, people could put your website.
I'm down. Post my website. Help me find more work.
Yeah. So that's a subject I was going to address, because you're also working part-time in juggling, right? You have some gigs here and there, and you find time to like actually apply to jobs for juggling and actively searching for digital art. Oh, I don't know how to call this. Is it digital art?
It was digital art, animation, motion graphics. Yeah, right. The industry is kind of going through like one of its classic lulls, where there's just like no work. And I have a bunch of friends that are in the same exact boat as me, where we're like, all right, what do we do? Do we just wait out this lull because we know that once projects start picking up, they're going to start crazy hiring? Or do we try to like switch paths? And I'm like kind of on the, let me see if I can like try to switch paths type of mind frame. Because how awesome the animation industry is and how much fun it is. It's just kind of teeter-tottery. Like one day it's like, oh, there's a ton of jobs, and then 2 years later it's like, all right, there's no jobs at all.
So it's unstable.
Everyone, it's really unstable. Weird gig economy. So, but yeah,
that's a big poo-poo for the animation industry. Fix that. Find our artists jobs. Like they work hard for it.
I don't want to discourage anybody to get into the industry, because it's very rewarding once you're in it, and like once you're like working on a project. And,
but it's just like
shots are looking great.
It's just like saying to kids like, don't even think about buying a house. Like it's right now it's very hard. Yeah, it's very hard to get a house, but like it's not. Don't say no to that.
It's achievable. Right? Like don't say no to trying to get a house.
Exactly. Every job needs, like if it's a job, it's because there's a need somewhere. If it's a job, we need some of that. And
and everybody's always scared of AI taking stuff over, and I'm just like, no, it's just another tool. Like these companies, these directors, these studios are way too picky to just let some random AI spat out thing be the final thing. Like they are like on top of everything. So even if AI takes over, like it's not going to take over any. I don't think it's going to really take over any jobs. I think it's going to give artists new tools to work on to make their projects come out faster and better. But I don't think it's going to be the thing that like destroys the industry. You know,
That's
just my little
interesting,
take.
right. Maybe like someone in 10 years watching this like is gonna laugh at this clip, but like
Probably, probably, and and I say this, like I'm building an act right now, and I have dialogue in the beginning, and like in the middle, and I just used AI voice, like text to voice, to make it, and it sounds great. Like it sounds great for what I want. If it
Okay.
was like a full studio and it's like several hundred lines that this person has to read and they want specific inflection or they want like a specific type of voice and they want it read in a specific type of way, it's like just hire somebody
Yeah.
at that point,
Like don't hire
like
someone
it
to like
gets so
write
nitpicky.
10,000 prompts. Like write someone that can actually like
Exactly.
listen to what you're saying.
Exactly. It's like telling the computer that like, oh, like make this sound more angry. Like make it sound angrier. No, you're not pushing it enough, Like you can tell a person that and they'll understand it immediately. Especially if they're like a voice actor, they'll understand it
Yeah.
immediately.
Also,
So,
I don't know. It's not really the subject that we can relate on right now because we don't have the direct crazy impact on jobs at the moment. But like I feel like
mhm.
there's too many artists that worked for what they do that no one would like let artists just die and like work at McDonald's or anything. Like
Yeah, no.
there's too much work.
I don't know. People let art yeah, like I don't know. Sometimes I do this busking thing at this fair, and it's like I have to like full on interact with people in order for them to like even give me half a second of their time. Like if I'm not doing something like crazy flashy, I have to be like in their face in order to like get it. And so I respect like the street artists that do that so much, but like I don't know, it's not for me.
It's like ego crushing. Like
It's like
you don't.
yeah, but like but it's also like a great way to get like comfortable performing in front of people
Yeah,
because when you're busking, you're performing in front of people who
don't care.
don't care. Like they don't want to see juggling, And
Yeah,
so
no.
you have to like force it in front of them, or do it so well that they're like, oh wow, do something so different that they're like they have to watch.
It's also like door to door salesman. That's the worst kind
Yep.
of sales you need to do. And
Door to door salesman.
when you have to pitch a product for someone that does
Yeah,
not
yeah,
care, they were like just
yeah.
watching something in their pajamas. Like they don't care
Uh,
about your cookies, bro. But you have to sell
like,
them because that's your job. But like I think
cookies or
that's
knives.
yeah, yeah, knife
Like
sets
door to
like
door knife salesman. Yeah.
like I
Like how do
think
I scam this person into telling them that their knives are awful and that they need to buy these knives? My brother was a door to door knife salesman for a hot minute, and
I think he'd be better at sales right now than
pretty
someone in
he was
a.
pretty good at it.
There you go.
Pretty good at it.
I think busking's the equivalent. Like you have to deal with someone not caring to sell it even
Yeah,
better. Because when someone
yeah,
actually comes see you for what you're offering, you're like so used to
yeah.
catching people's attention anyway.
And like I don't do anything that's like oh my god look at that like 7 foot unicycle that's oh my god look at that or what
Or
somebody on like a,
fire.
a teeter ladder, yeah, fire, it's like oh my god look at that. It's like me running up to people and juggling in their face and then running away, or me following someone as I'm doing like a shower and like keeping eye contact with them the whole time. Like that's how I busk.
I think I'd rather see that. Like
Do you hear my cat screaming in the background?
No.
No?
Kitty.
Put her up here.
Damn,
She wants to be in the video.
it's cool. It's so cool. Like I feel like we're having an animal streak. Like even Carolyn, that juggling girl, the cat came on
Oh
the
yeah.
podcast. Like it's
No.
so cool to receive people's cat. If I ever call one of you jugglers and you have a cat at home, please bring it to the interview. We need like 1 second, show it, and then then go back. Like let it live. But I just want to see it for 1 second if you come on the episode. No, but more seriously, the topic was like, but I understand the narratives as you're trying to move away from animation, maybe, or like if you want to stay in that kind of work field, you might want to find better conditions or
Yep.
some safer way to practice it long time, right? You don't want to find jobs
Yep.
every 6 months, so especially when you're
Yeah.
like,
And like when the industry's booming, it's like booming. You know, like people are employed. People have been like in this industry for way longer than I've been in this industry, and they seem to be doing very well. So it's like, how do I learn from them? I don't know, try to get into the position that they're in. Um, yeah. Oh, also notable jugglers. So, as I was telling you, I lived in LA and then Seattle and then Vancouver, BC, and now I'm in Portland, Oregon. Uh, and when I was in LA, it's funny how like juggling like travels with me. And like every time I go somewhere, I try to immediately find the jugglers or the flow people. And so when I moved to LA, I met Mike Day, who, if you don't know him, he invented the Mike's Mess, and he was also a key member in inventing side swaps. And he just won an award at IJA this past year. Yeah, that was really fun having that experience, getting to like meet him and chat with him about juggling and what it was like back then. I also got to meet oh gosh, Taylor Tries. That was where I met Taylor for the first time. I was living out in LA, and she would come to the juggling meetups here and there. Uh, Jack Calvin, also met him in LA. And then when I moved to Seattle, I was introduced to the flow scene, and that was a whole different part of the juggling community that I didn't even know existed, which was pretty cool because I was introduced to poi spinners, staff spinners, just different props that I never picked up or messed with or even bothered to play with, and I don't know, hanging around a lot of those people, it like one gave me a deeper appreciation for those props, but it gave me a deeper appreciation for uh, a community like that and how strong of a community Seattle jugglers have. It's like you don't really get that everywhere else. Like
yeah,
Portland has like a really good juggling scene. Seattle has like a really good juggling scene. When I was living in LA, it was a good juggling scene, but like we'd have juggle meetups once a week, you know? Like there might be a flow meetup that I would go to here and there, but it was kind of difficult to get around. So
yeah, but
yeah, in
just in the way you're
Seattle,
saying it, there's a juggling scene, and the other one has a juggling community.
yes, yes, exactly. It's like there's like a scene and then there's a community, and there's a big difference between the two. Yeah.
So,
I don't know
yeah,
about other places though. I can only speak to the places that I've lived in.
how was in Canada,
So
Vancouver?
Canada was dope because during the summer they'd have flow jams at this place called Trout Lake, and it would be huge. Like they'd have DJs come through and like set up giant speakers and just blast music, like DJ for several hours. And it was great because in the summer, like sun's not going down till like what 9:30, and so you get there at like 6 and you're already there for like 3 hours, and then the sun's going down and everybody moves to the beach and spins fire for like another like 2 hours
That's sick.
or until we get kicked out.
That's so sick.
Yeah, it was a really nice community. A lot of the people that would show up would be people just there to hang out and people watch. But like I'd go there and I'd juggle, train, hang out with some friends. It's a good time. And it was
No,
like in the middle of a park too, just some random park.
that's what you need to
So
do. You don't need a crazy arena. You need a cool community
yep,
and somewhere.
yep,
You need
yep,
somewhere. You just need
yep.
land.
Somewhere and consistency. Someone told me I was asking someone in Seattle because I was moving when I was moving to Vancouver. I was asking them like, "Oh, what is your advice for starting a juggling club?" Or like, "What is your advice for like starting a meetup?" And he said, "Pick a day, pick a place, pick a time, and be there every single time. Be there every week. Don't miss a week, and just keep going. And sooner or later, people will show up, and next thing you know, you will have your
A
own
juggling
juggling
club.
club. You will have your own little juggle jam, and it'll be with like a bunch of people that constantly show up, your close friends." And yeah, I took that to heart. When I moved to Vancouver, in the winter, the flow jams would stop like when summer ends and the sun starts setting around like 6 p.m. and nobody wants to be out in the cold and rain. I would go to this place in the downtown east side called the Woodwards Building, and I would go there 2 times a week. And at first it was just me, and then I started posting about showing up there, and then I would have 2 to 3 people consistently show up, and then I think the most that we had was probably 6 people, and that was after maybe like an entire year had gone by
Was that like the mall you
of
used to
me.
post tricks in?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's not a mall. It's the lobby of an apartment complex that is in between a drugstore and a grocery store,
Okay.
and it's in this like lobby of this apartment complex, and so they've got these crazy high ceilings for some strange reason. It's this like huge
And they would let
building,
you juggle
like
in?
a bunch of space. They let me juggle in there because so it's in the downtown east side of Vancouver, which is like not it's like a pretty sketchy area. Uh, but like if you go there, it's just people who are homeless and they're struggling, and like everyone is kind of just looking after themselves, like after each other. And yeah, it's honestly not as dangerous as people and the media like to make it sound. But yeah, I'd go down there, uh, and I just start juggling, played some music, start juggling, and the security guards would be like, "Hey, at least you're not shooting up. At least you're not smoking cigarettes. At least, at least you're not stealing from either of the stores inside." So they were perfectly fine, and they're like, it's entertainment too. Like people from the drugstore and the grocery store would constantly come out and be like, "Thank you so much for coming here and juggling. Like we really appreciate seeing you come here every week."
That's so sick.
Uh, yeah, yeah. It was a good time. And plus the ceiling height, oh my God.
It's
So
probably
much. I
heated
could
too. Like since it's Canada, you
It
be
wasn't
inside.
heated, but it was warmer than it was outside.
So
So
it's way better. It's way better than like a minus
yeah, yeah,
15.
yeah. Oh man, there'd be times where like I'd be juggling and someone would come in and like start talking to me about like someone who's homeless and on drugs or something would come up and start asking me questions about like the juggling, or would start telling me some like really long story about how they saw some like 13 ball juggler somewhere. There'd be people that would like steal from the grocery stores. uh
he
oh,
obviously
my
he o-
favorite.
he obviously saw Alex Barron. Obviously,
Alex who?
Alex
Who?
Barron.
Alex Barron. I don't think I know Alex Barron.
Alex Barron. Hold on. Am
I
I
think so.
am I messing up the name? Freaking 14 ball flash.
Oh.
Is that his name?
Probably. I don't know. I don't know. It was like just some random dude. Like would have like no clue about juggling,
No,
and
but
he would just
he
come
met
up to
Alex
me.
Barron. That's what he told you. He met Alex Barron.
Probably,
13 ball juggler.
probably, Probably. Uh, man. But yeah, my favorite part, or at least the funniest part about this whole building, is that they had this water fixture that would just be open, and it's like hidden kind of around these like spiral stairs, and so you wouldn't, if you weren't really paying attention, you wouldn't see it. And especially if you were in like a rush and you're on your phone talking, like the amount of people that I've seen fall into this fountain or like step into the fountain and then like have to step out, or like if I drop a ball, it would like start rolling straight towards the fountain, either straight towards the fountain, or they had these like uh, circular seats that people would come in and just hang out, just like seats to sit down on. But they were huge, and underneath them, they were just filled with rats. Just like you'd see rats go from one giant seated circle thing to another one, and then like out the door or like underneath the trash can. And so I'd constantly have like a ball like roll underneath and then like roll out, and I'm just like can't I can't use this ball anymore. Like
Oh,
I need to sanitize this ball, or like some rat would like run out. Yeah.
that probably has to be the most entertaining juggling training space I've
Yeah.
heard of.
Yeah. There was a lot going on. There was so much going on all the time. And then I'm in there juggling.
Bro, there's people
Like
just
add on top of the craziness.
juggling in squash courts like with no interactions, like just the
Yep.
bare
Yep.
minimum. Oh,
I don't know how people juggle like that though. Like I can't juggle. It looks like you're training in like a what's the like crazy house with like all like the safe walls, and like your like arms are strapped in. Like it looks
psychiatric
like,
places,
yeah, like it looks like I'm juggling in a
psychiatric hospital.
psych ward. Yeah. Like that would freak me out way more than juggling in like a very open public space where it's just foot traffic, like, and like it's weird because no one cares that you're juggling too. Like no one cares. I'd be like practicing five ball and someone would walk by like this close to me. like like I wasn't even there. Or like I'm like struggling to get my five club down and like somebody's like almost walking into me.
That's why people just practice in squash courts. I think you got the
Yeah,
answers right
yeah.
there.
Like I appreciate like I know that it's private and there's so much space for like just you in the squash court, but like I don't know. I want that craziness. I want the energy of like what's happening over there. What's that homeless person over there? Why is that person smoking a cigarette inside?
Did you
Like
ever
they're
become
100% gonna get talked
Did you
to.
ever become like a security guard for a couple of days where you like saw
No,
someone
no,
smoke a cigarette
no,
like
no, 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 not at all. Because they had people there. They had security guards there who were like on top of it too. So it's like something would happen
they were
and
not
there'd be like
joking.
two or three security guards like running over to stop whatever was going on.
Yeah, I mean if someone
So
smokes a cigarette inside, you have to like push them right down to the floor and like you have to beat them up, right?
yeah,
You need like at least
no,
three
no,
people to do that.
they just walk over and be like, "Hey, you can't do that in here," and like get out. Yeah.
Of course.
So is that, and like plus I'd like, to be honest, I'd be down there at like 7 p.m. Like 7 to 9 p.m. is when I'd be down there. And so I'm down there at like peak like crazy time.
Yeah.
And I'm down there at like the place is like closing down. So people are like rushing in to go hit up the grocery store for like last minute shopping, or trying to go to the drugstore for last minute shopping. Uh, and so it's just
Rush hour, but
crazy.
like everyone is
Yeah.
just rushing to go back home. Like they're not here to chill.
Yeah.
So that's probably why
And
people didn't
it's
care
like,
about the juggling if they were just like
yeah,
rushing
yeah,
by.
yeah. And like I did have people come through and be like, "Oh, I really like watching you juggle. Like, oh, thank you for being here. This is a really fun thing to see." Or like, "Oh, you're here every week. Okay, I'll be here next week." Type of conversations,
But like
which were like really nice to have.
that's interesting. But like when you said you travel, you're juggling every time. How did you manage
Hmm.
to like find gigs and find a way to work with in that juggling environment? Because being a circus artist and a juggler, especially, is really hard because you have to make your own self appear to people. Like you have to search so many contracts. Like there's rarely someone reaching out to you being like, "Oh, can you do this?" You have to wait a long time until someone like casually comes up to you to get you a contract.
I don't know. It's like I'm not contract chasing, you know? Like I'm chasing festivals. I'm chasing like yeah, like I'm like chasing festivals. Like what festival will pay me a good chunk of money to be there? Uh and I got my start doing all of like the festival stuff because my friends in Seattle, like all the flow people, they all go to festivals and they all do festivals. And when they go, they were like, yeah, we could go. If you want to go as an instructor, then they'll pay you and like you can go to the festival for free. And I'm like, sure, I'll start teaching if it means I get to go to festivals for free. uh, and so I started just going to a bunch of festivals, teaching juggling workshops. Uh, and then it wasn't really until like 2 years ago that I actually started performing. Uh, because again, friends in Vancouver putting on a show, and they were like, "Hey, do you want to be a part of it? Like, you don't have to. Like, it's not like a high stakes thing. It's kind of just like a little show that we're putting on." It's like, sure. I built an act, uh, posted about the act, and since when I had started performing, I was already like in the scene and like juggling for like 11 plus years. Uh, and so I knew a bunch of people. And
Okay.
so me just knowing people and then being like, hey, I'm performing, I have an act. Next thing you know, I'm being invited to sign up to perform here, or like, hey, we've got applications open. Would you like to perform at this showcase? Or uh, just cold reach outs, you know? Someone would reach out to me and be like, hey, we're looking for a juggler. We'd
Okay,
like to have you
then you're
perform.
a lucky one. I think that's the kind of
Yeah.
contracts that I hope
Yeah.
to get because I don't want to because I'm
And like,
probably not
it's
gonna
not
do
even,
juggling as a living, but doing contracts here and there is like a way to keep the thing going, right? So like, I
because
wish people.
you're trying to go to circus school, right? Like I didn't go to circus school.
I used to.
I
All the plans. That's why this podcast episode
because
is important to figure out a way to have like being an artist, but also mixing juggling in your art and like
I think
living off art.
because I think school trains you to get shit done. It like trains you to get shit done. It trains you to go learn. And I think uh yeah, it like trains you to learn and it trains you to like structure your day so that you can go do the things that you want to go do. Like if I want to go learn like a new software, like I'm relearning the 3D software Blender, uh, and like I'm pretty much like scheduling out like when like what videos I want to be watching, what tutorials I want to be doing, what I want to be learning, uh, and I think just having that type of mentality of like scheduling out days and being able to structure like how do I present myself, how do I go about getting things. God damn, what are we talking about again? I full on the problems of ADHD brain.
Yeah, and I get what you're saying. Like school, because yeah,
But like
I think your conclusion is like you have to do the work on your own. You have to work. It's just not school.
yeah,
School teaches you to like
yeah,
have deadlines and do stuff while you're here.
yep,
But then in the meantime,
yep,
like you could also be a juggler, a successful juggler, and never go to circus school if you manage
yeah, yeah. It's
to
like
get your thing done
if
on
you're
time.
if you're like posting about it, if you're like gun ho about getting uh uh contracts, and if you're like if you know the steps to take to do the thing, and then you can like schedule out and build yourself to do those things, then I think like you can do anything. You know? Like,
Because then you're gonna have
I think,
you're gonna have similar resources as someone going out of circus
yeah,
school. I mean, maybe not in the technical
yeah, it's just
aspect. Maybe you have less of acrobatics and some physical
right,
education stuff,
right.
but
Like, I don't have acro background.
right.
Like, I'm learning how to do handstands now. Like, I don't have an acro background. I'm teaching myself how to like roll on the floor and how to do like the soft acro stuff. And it's literally just by watching other jugglers. Like, I know these three jugglers, Billy, Nadav, and Merlin, who are all these like three circus school kids who are just like crazy with this
In
soft
Montreal,
acro. I think
are
one's
you
in
talking about
Gom right now.
Billy Chaluka?
Yes, yes. Billy is in Montreal. Yep, Billy's in Montreal. Uh, Nadav is in Gom, and I think Merlin's in the Seven Fingers.
But also
But like all three of them.
there's Grant Bishop also doing soft acro at the moment.
Yes, yes. And I think like that type. And what's his name? Ball juggler,
Oh,
crazy good ball juggler.
in
John Whitty.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like another person who does that like roll on the floor, like soft movement, juggling type style. Uh, I think like, God damn it, what was I talking about again? Why did
You were saying
like that's like the style. Anyways, that's the style that I like really appreciate, and I like. Damn.
you didn't learn
What was I
acro, so
talking about?
you find it
Yeah, I did.
inspiring to
Yeah,
learn
yeah,
from
yeah.
them.
Yes, yes. So I find it very inspiring to see them doing like a style that I would not have learned or like would have like seen or tried to learn uh if not seeing them. And like something that like I wouldn't have like if I'd gone to circus school, like I feel like I would have dived more into that type of like body mechanic stuff
Yeah,
that
probably.
like I'm diving into now. What a cool style though.
Yeah,
Like rolling on the
es-
floor and
especially
throwing flops.
Billy's been so nice with me too. Like Billy's one of my
Yeah.
biggest inspiration in juggling. He probably doesn't even know that, but I'm telling you, Billy. I don't know. People go check out Billy Chaluka. Billy
Yep.
Billy.
Check out Billy.
Chaluka is CHOLEWKA. Search this
Yep.
name up. You'll see the craziest juggling. One of my favorite style of all time. Of all time. Crazy
Yeah.
juggling.
Like Billy, Nadav, and Merlin, and John Whitty. I think are like the four guys that are like really doing it well.
Yeah.
So
I think we're about to close up this episode soon.
oh
Yeah, we could go on for another hour, right? It's already been an
we
hour.
gotta have my brain forget what we were talking about for another hour.
I mean, this one you might remember because I'm gonna ask what can we expect from you in the future? What are your current plans?
I have no clue, dude. Oh, okay. I will say, I have no clue. And it's like I have a whole
End of the
schedule of
episode.
things that I'm doing.
I have no clue.
No, I'm performing in the Flow show in San Francisco. That's next month, April. My gosh, uh, 18th through the 20th, I believe. And then I'm also starting juggling classes, like intro to juggling all levels, whether you want to get better at your form or better at learning how to juggle five club, or five ball, getting up to that level, just learning drills, small exercises that you can do to like get yourself more comfortable with prop manipulation. So yeah, that's starting at this place, Superhero Fitness. Uh,
That's something you taught me. Sorry, that's something you taught me.
Good job.
Yeah, I still don't know how to do it. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah, that's starting. What is it? March 21st at Superhero Fitness in Portland, Oregon.
Okay. What day is it?
So if you're in, that's Friday. So and it'll be every Friday at like 6 p.m.
Cool.
So if you're in Portland and you're like, I want to go to a juggling class, come through.
Is it free of charge? Do people?
This first class is, but then afterwards, all the other classes aren't going to be. So
Cool.
womp womp.
Womp womp. People, get your money and pay our famous, not famous, pay our talented jugglers.
Pay your artists. And I think also another big thing, because you were telling me about how just like finding the balance of juggling and maintaining like I guess like
Another
a work
skill set.
life balance. Yeah, it's like scheduling it out, especially if you have a full-time job. Like when I had my full-time job, it would be work until probably about like 5 p.m. and then I'd go home, I'd eat for like an hour. I like spend an hour eating, getting ready, whatever, and then I'd be immediately out the door to go juggle.
Okay.
And like I'd be immediately out the door to go juggle somewhere. And especially, oh my God, in Vancouver, where it was like, all right, I'm done work at 5. Let me race home because it's going to be, or at least let me eat because it's going to be like an hour, hour and a half because I'm working from home, hour and a half to eat and then get ready and like get my brain away from like work mode and then take like a 30-minute bus ride down to the Woodward's building, juggle there for like 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours, and then head back home, pass out, wake up the next day, and like try to do it again.
So that, I think that's like, you probably,
and it's like structuring it out.
Probably driven by the love you have for juggling, but it's also hard for people that are in school and have a part-time job and have like a girlfriend. You probably had a girlfriend, but then if you want to like do weight training
now, bro.
Not before when you had a full-time job.
No.
So it's kind of hard to like,
but
even
like,
right now.
Like I mean, like dating though. Like I was dating, but like you still like fit it in. It's like what I was told before I moved to Seattle. It's like if you're gonna start a juggling club, pick a time, pick a day, pick a place, and show up there every week. Like be consistent about it. You know, like structure it in your day or structure it in your week, so that Wednesdays, like for me, right now, Tuesdays are juggle club at XavJuggles in Portland, and so I go there and I'm there from like 7 p.m., 7:30 p.m., 8 p.m. until like 11, sometimes midnight, because they're like, yeah, lock up and you're good. And so I'm usually there till pretty late, and then Wednesdays they have juggle club at Reed College out here, and so that's from like 7:30 until 9:30. And then Thursdays I go to the gym to go train.
Okay, so it's not always on
and
your
usually,
own.
like it's not always on my own. Like sometimes I'm going to juggling clubs because that's like also another big part of like how I've like been able to like keep up with this. Is that everywhere I go, there's always a community. Like there's always jugglers in every city, and I usually tend to meet up with them, and they usually become my friends, like instant first friends. Like anytime I move to a city, I never feel like I'm not going to be able to make friends because I know that I like to juggle. I know that there's people here that also like to juggle, and I know that there is a weekly club that they all go to. And so I know that I can reliably go to these clubs and find people who also like to juggle or like-minded and fun, goofy people. So
okay, that's like probably what's missing right now because in my city there's probably, I know one juggler in my city.
What city are you in?
It's called Vaudreuil. It's near Montreal, but it's like a new city, so it's like new. I don't know everyone. Like there's always someone new coming in the city. Like there's new buildings all the time, so I don't know the new people, but that's.
So now it's like up to you. It's like up to you. Find a public space and then just show up and start juggling. Find a public space, show up, start juggling, and if they kick you out, then find a new space. And if they kick you out of there, find a new space.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now, but I'm doing it on my own, so it's hard to like find always consistency because like it gets draining if you do like a proper like 3-hour training and juggling, and then you want to go like to the gym after. You're like,
No, your gym time is the juggling time. And like
Yeah.
even when I'm like doing like I'll have days where it'll be 5 club training or like numbers training. So it's like 5 club, 5 ball, 7 ball
I
training.
see.
And then from there, it'll probably be like an hour, hour and a half that I'll do of that. And then I'll go lift weights or do some type of weight training. And that's usually like my Thursdays because the gym is also like it's got like weights and stuff. The gym I go to, it's an acro gym, so they've got crazy high ceilings and just open space. And so it's perfect for jugglers. And then
Yeah.
they've got a little weights area, so it's like I'll go work out.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. I mean,
yeah. Finding a time to go juggle, scheduling it out, and then being consistent about showing up there.
yeah, I'll keep
Because
that
then
in
it's
mind.
like you've got the whole rest of the day to do whatever, you know?
Yeah, but most of the time, like if you're at school, like you wake up early, you do your thing, you come back, you eat, then you have like couple hours, but then it's like, do you want to sleep at like 2 a.m., right?
It's so I'll tell you about so when I was at RIT, it was the jugglers were insane. And it would be times where like we'd hang out and we'd be juggling until like 3 in the morning, like 4 in the morning. And it's like we're juggling, we're watching juggling videos, we're coming up with weird tricks. Uh and like being around us, especially being around a community that was so deeply into the juggling, like really helped with finding time. Because if if I'm in the labs working and I'm been there for like several hours and I'm tired, if I show up to a specific part of campus, I know that somebody's going to be there juggling. And
Mm.
I know that we have juggle meetups twice a week. So it's like even if I can't get out of the labs at some point to go juggle on my own time, I know that Tuesdays, or I guess I think it was like Mondays and Wednesdays would juggle club. And that's where everybody would kind of have their big meeting. And so even if you can't juggle 4 or 5 days out of the week, like if you can't schedule that in, if you can schedule like 2 days out of the week, awesome. If you can schedule one day out of the week, awesome. Like make it fit your schedule.
Yeah.
So like if you're like, oh, I've got to go hang out with my girlfriend Friday night, don't make Friday night your juggle night. like,
Yeah.
like if you're like, oh, I've got a big test coming up, okay, maybe
Probably
instead of
study.
juggling 3 times this week, juggle once or twice. Or if you are going to juggle 3 times this week, make it like an hour
Yeah.
or hour and a half,
Yeah.
or 45 minutes. I try to schedule it so that I know that when I show up to the gym to go juggle, I've got a good chunk of time to be there. And I make it late enough in the day so that I know that I have enough time during the day to get done whatever I wanted to do
Mm.
so that by the
So
time
that's
juggling
free.
comes along, yeah. It also helps that me and my girlfriend go to the same gym. So it's like, oh, I'll go to the gym, I'll go see her.
Oh, no.
you
Yeah,
know?
that's like the perfect way to not stay at home. Like you have
Yeah,
nothing else to
yeah,
do than go there. It's better to go there than to do whatever at home.
yeah, yeah. I love getting out of the house. Love getting out of the house. And like I think it also stems from in college, not college, in high school, uh I would never go home like at the end of the day. Like I'd have track practice afterwards, so then I'd go to track practice, or something else would be happening, and I'd go do that after school. Like most people go to school and then they leave at like 3. I'm not leaving till like 5 or 6.
Okay. Yeah, because
So
then
and I just kind
you
of
didn't
kept
have
that
much.
mentality.
Yeah, because otherwise you didn't have much to do at home when you were like,
Yeah,
eh.
yeah.
It's
And it's like
better.
I kept that mentality everywhere I've gone.
It's
Like
better to
just
invest your
all right,
time in meeting
today.
people and doing something than to
Yep,
like stay at home.
yep. It's like being social is so healthy for you, like wildly healthy. And like yeah, especially for like jugglers. Don't be a living room juggler. Don't lock yourself in your living room and like go out and meet
I
people.
think you're
Like
saying
we
you're
want
telling that to the most like living room juggler of all time. Like,
yeah. Like
I'm,
go out. And it's like it's like go out and show people juggling. Go out and show people juggling because somebody's probably out there who's like on their way home from work. So this when I was living in Vancouver, and I'd go to the Woodward's building to go juggle, I'd be out there and there would be people who would just be walking home from work and they'd be like, "Oh, you come here every week and you're here juggling every week and you just let me, can I join? Like, how do I join this? And just come here next week and I'll be here.
And
Come
you taught them
here next
juggling?
Wednesday. And I'll be here." Yep.
Oh,
Yep. It's less
nice.
about taught him juggling, but more this guy like picked up juggling again.
Oh, cool.
And so it's like awesome. Like here's a new juggler. Here's a new member of the community.
Yeah, here's someone
So
that dropped, no puns intended, someone that dropped the act of juggling that now is back on the game. We have another member.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like awesome. Like you pick
Yeah.
this back up, you pick this fun hobby back up again. So
Uh, yeah, so overall, what can we expect from you? Like, if people want to see something from you, is there a new shows? You had the classes and you had the acts coming up and at the
yeah,
festival.
I've got that's pretty much it. I know there's festivals that are popping up, applications that are popping up right now. So I'll be applying to just a bunch of festivals, seeing what I can get into. Uh, I don't really have like a goal or plan with the juggling. The goal is to keep it in my life and to maintain the fun and joy that I get out of it now and see that same joy grow for like the next whoever knows how many years I'm left on this earth. And if I can share it wherever I can and with whoever I can, like that's also another fun fun part about this. So showing jugglers weird stuff, and then they'll be like, I didn't think about that. I'm like, I didn't think about it either. I stole it from some other guy. Stole it from some guy in Europe, some lady in Europe.
That's like,
Also, before we end, quick shout out to other jugglers that I really like watching. Ani Cooper, she's fantastic. Uh, I think her name's Fernanda. I think she's in Seven Fingers, also fantastic.
Isadora?
Uh, yes, Isadora. Yes, fantastic juggler. Uh, I said Billy, Merlin, Nadav, uh, Marvin and Mel. Yeah, yeah. Tim Airwalker, another big homie. Yeah,
I love
yeah.
all these
Shout out.
people. I keep I keep
Yeah,
having them on my feed. Like,
Alex,
I think we have the same
Alex.
Instagram feed somehow.
Yeah, Alex Rosenoff, OG, was in the gutter with at RIT with him.
Uh, I should bring Alex on the podcast. He's one of the
You
OG
should bring
OG.
Alex on the podcast.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Alex, this is a riot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I might reach out to him right after this. Like, please,
Please
please come
do.
to the podcast.
He's,
Yeah, man.
like he's so funny because he took me to my first Turbo Fest like 10-ish years ago, and it was like the first time that I had been to a festival outside of the U.S. and it like fully solidified that I love this community. I love this scene. I love jugglers. I love circus people. Uh, yeah, yeah. And then like cut to maybe like I think it was like 2 years ago, or yeah, like 2 years ago, where I performed at Turbo, and yeah, it was like a weird coming around moment.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I remember seeing that live. Pretty damn sick. Like, I didn't expect you to perform because
That's fun. I like hardcore at that one.
the what?
I like panicked real bad
Oh really?
at that performance. Yeah. So I was like, it like all came to me. I'm just like, oh my god, like I'm on the Turbo stage. This is weird. Like
But
this
it
is
worked
something I
out.
never would
It
have
worked
thought
out
I'd
fine.
be
I
doing.
think a lot of people love the
Yeah.
act.
Yeah. I'm glad people liked it.
Yeah.
So, but this new act, it's weird, it's fun, it's different. Flow show. Come to the Flow show if you're in San Francisco.
Awesome. I mean, like I said earlier, people can search up the Instagram handle that's right under your
Yep.
face at Juggle
Yep.
Johns. Also, maybe if you want to see Jared's art, there's CG Jared, CG underscore
Yep.
Jared.
CG underscore Jared. Yep. That's some of my CG work.
So please go check out Jared's Instagram. It's been voted in Zach McAllister. I forgot the show name, like the Juggling Awards, I think.
Yeah, Juggling Awards. Yeah.
And Jared was nominated for one of the best Instagram accounts. Like, it was one of my personal favorite, but so cool to see other people loved it too. So please check out Jared's Instagram. Like, it's super cool content.
Cracks me up because so many times I'm making these videos, I'm just like, God, this is so stupid, and I'll post. I'm like, pretty funny.
I'm glad you did it, my dude. Yeah, man. All right. If we don't close up this episode, we'll be talking for like 3.5 hours.
Yeah, we will literally be talking for hours.
We'll
I
talk.
gotta cook.
Yeah. I'll invite you back to the podcast. I think it's so cool to have you here. So glad to see you. Like, since definitely. Turbo, since we met, you've been a very great juggling friend. I love seeing you at Turbo every year. It's so cool.
Yeah, you're a fun person to run into every year at Turbo Fest. All right.
Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you so much
for having me.
This long episode. I hope y'all like this format. Tell me if you want to see more long format episode like this, going over an hour. Maybe that's what people want. Maybe people like short episodes. Maybe people like this format. Let me know in the comment.
Hearing people hearing us yak for an hour.
I would listen to Jugglers yak for 4 hours. All right. So thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Thank you, Jared, for coming on here. And everyone, have a good time juggling.
Oh my God. I almost forgot. One last shout out. Pietro Silva Bonino. Literally like the GOAT. He has this Paris 104 video that is my absolute favorite. Go check it out.